Hi there, I'm Dr. Cassie Preston, and I made this video series to help you boost your confidence. This is so important because a lot of us struggle with it. And the first video is going to highlight those main reasons, the biggest mistakes that are hurting your confidence, and so many players do. So the first big mistake is a lot of players will tie their self-image, their self-confidence and self-worth to external things, right? Whether it's points or outcomes or playing time or what other people think and their opinions. And as long as you're doing that, it's going to be a rocky road of up and down. And you're not going to have any control over your confidence and consistency and therefore your game. So I'll share first, my own example and where I really struggled with this and did this. So I was fortunate enough to get drafted, play in the OHL, played some pro hockey, and played university level. So played pretty long elite career. But once I made it to the OHL, pretty high level at 16 or 17, I didn't go the way I wanted to. Right? I didn't get those outcomes. I got 0 points in my first season in the OHL. And I got healthy scratch like 34 games. I was in and out of the lineup. And when I got home at the end of the year in my small town up in North Bay, I was getting chirped, like people saying, "Oh, I could have got a point." I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Right? So it was really weighing on me. I wasn't getting the outcomes, wasn't getting the approval from the coaches or the playing time, and wasn't even like socially people were on me. So it was really hard to come back from that, but I was able to. And one of the biggest lessons to learn in life, especially related to confidence, is that your self-worth and your ability is not based on all these external things. Right? You're going to have ups and downs. If I came and watched you play and I'm like, "Oh, you're no good, you suck," that mean you got worse. And like vice versa, if I come and I'm like, "Oh, you're so good, look how good you are," that mean you got better. No, it's just my opinion. Or vice versa, when you play a game or a competition and you do well and you get the outcomes you want, does that mean you got better and you are a better player or a better athlete? No. And vice versa, just because you had a tough day and made some mistakes, does it mean you got worse? No. So the concept is we want to learn to have an accurate self-image that's based on who we are and our abilities, not tying it to all these external things. A lot easier said than done, but important to write down and understand. Second to this, though, is to not be too hard on ourselves, because so many elite athletes and serious athletes are constantly, "I gotta be better, gotta be better." And what happens when you're focused on, "I'm not good enough, I gotta be better," and you overly focus on this and you downplay the things you do well and any success you do have, well, what happens to your self-image? Becomes negatively skewed. Very common. Instead, we want to learn to have an accurate, again, self-image where we own all of the things that we do well and we can work on. We don't want to be too easy on ourselves, but not too hard either. So if you play a game as an example as a hockey player, do 10 things well, make 3 kind of mistakes, well, own all of it. Don't just focus on the 3 mistakes, and don't obviously just focus on the things you did well. So that's a big one. And then the third quick one here is there's this big misconception that we want to be super confident. I got to be the best. I got to think I'm better than everybody else. And that could be helpful if you are the best player, but sometimes you might not quite be the best player in the league or on your team, etc. And so what really matters again is being accurate with your self-image. And a lot of us and people will tell us this and boost us up. So I'll give you a quick example of that. A goalie and player we worked with this past year, was had a really hot start to the season. And everyone's telling him how good he is. He's going to get drafted and this and that. And so he's building up, and he thinks it's a good thing that he has to have this, inflated self-image. "Oh, I'm so good." And then so as soon as adversity hits, well, what happened? He deflated and came flying down. And that's so many athletes experience this yo-yo based on these 3 big mistakes of tying confidence to other things, the being too hard on themselves, plus then, thinking they need to have a super inflated self-image. No, you need an accurate self-image. So hopefully that's really helpful. I hope to see you in the next videos where we're going to dive into, how to stop worrying about what other people think, how to overcome the self-doubt and the voices that are there, instead strengthen our inner voice. And then lastly, in the 4th video, we're diving quickly into some of the actual how-to and the exercises we use to get these benefits so you can consistently play with confidence. I look forward to seeing you there. All you have to do is put your email in so we can stay in touch and keep giving you more of these free videos down the line as well. All right, see you there.